Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Fletcher Piri, and I'm taking you through how to use writing proposal for healthcare management and nursing project or dissertation book. This book has been written by me, so I'm the author of this book. Its ISBN number is 9781-800946941, and it can be found on Amazon. Before I start going through this book, let me give you a bit of my background. As I've said, I'm Dr. Fletcher Piri, and I'm an online tutor for Masters in Public Health, Doctorate in Public Health, Doctorate in Public Health Professional Practice, Healthcare Management, Nursing, Masters in Business Administration, and other business-related subjects. I have a passion of supporting adults who are studying online achieve their education and professional dreams through online tutorials. There are two main factors that have contributed to the rise in the demand for adult students to study nursing online. The first factor is that there is a global shortage of nurses, and this was existing even before COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, such demand has increased as a result of COVID-19. As we are all aware, many of the frontline staff in the nursing profession were actually affected badly by COVID-19, some of them dying and the others are sustaining a disability that cannot make them to work again. So therefore, this has created a huge increase in the demand for new nurses to join in, which means to replace those who have died or those who have been disabled. The second reason is the advancement in technology. Now, advancement in technology has helped or provided opportunity for adults to study nursing at the comfort of their own home, where they can balance studying and their other domestic and work commitments. So these two main factors has increased the chances or promoted chances for adults to join nursing because they can study from their own homes. The importance of this book. This book helps nursing and healthcare management students who are expected to carry out research and then compile their research findings into dissertation or project report. And then they submit this as their final piece of assessment for their degree award. Now, both dissertations and projects start with the preparation of the proposal. And this is where this book starts from. This book will cover what is needed to be incorporated in the proposal from the start to the end. It provides real examples of work from previous students, showing mistakes made and how to correct them. Therefore, students who went through this book helped them to learn from previous students' mistakes and use that knowledge to prevent making their own. In that process, it helps them to improve the quality of their proposal, which is they submit, and which in turn increases their chances of passing at the first time. So this is the main important reason why this book has actually been written, is to learn from the mistakes of other students and then use that knowledge to improve your own work, particularly adult nursing students who probably have been out of academic for quite some time. Now they are returning because they need they want to pursue a nursing career. So therefore, they need support in terms of how to write proposals. Right. So although this book is split or divided into chapters, but these chapters, they are sections of the proposal that is required. So at the end of it, it is the content of the whole proposal that is required for those nursing students to submit. Either they are writing dissertation or they are writing a project. Okay. Right. So the first is chapter 1, which is the chapter 1 of this book. So what are we discussing in chapter 1? So which means that is the section 1 of process in developing your nursing dissertation or project proposal. So the research which you are required or project which you are required to conduct need to start with the identification of the areas of research that you need to pursue, that you want to pursue. Therefore, you need to identify the topic. This looks simple, but in most cases, students struggle to find what topic should they use or should they choose to carry out their own research or project. Now, obviously, understanding this particular area helps you to choose the topic that is relevant. So some of the factors that you need to think of, or some of the areas, or some of the consideration you need to make, the first one is going to be the interest. So what are you interested in? So what are we talking about? We are talking about probably looking at what is the career you want to pursue. Yeah, if you want to pursue in nursing, then the topic should be related to nursing or should be relevant to the nursing field. If you're going to be interested in management, then within the management, there are different sectors or sections. So can be, for example, human resource management, marketing management, it can be finance management. And these areas also, they are present in nursing, particularly in hospitals that actually provide healthcare services to people. You see that they are actually those people who manage other people within that particular organization. They are people who promote the services that are being delivered, which they are in the marketing department. They are people who are managing finances for the hospital. So your interest will determine what subject area or what topic you need to actually choose. But more importantly here is to do with nursing. So within nursing, you're going to have general nursing, you're going to have clinical nursing, you're going to have mental health nursing, you're going to have orthopedic. There are quite a number of different areas. So which topic you choose will depend what is your interest. The second factor you need to think of while trying to choose the topic for your research or for your project is a level of the study. So if you are studying a master's, definitely your topic need to be relevant to that particular master's. If you are doing undergraduate degree, then your topic should be undergraduate degree. So to be focusing on the level of undergraduate. The other is obvious relevance, which is similar to interest. So relevant to the field that you want, or particularly relevant to the module that you are actually, or course that you are pursuing. Yeah, so if you have healthcare management, then you need a topic which is relevant to healthcare management. If it's the topic about mental health, then you need to choose a topic which is relevant to mental health. If it's just general nursing, again, you need to choose for general nursing. There are a number of other areas within nursing. So it's important that you choose the topic that is relevant to the studies that you are studying or the qualification you are studying for. The other factor is looking at previous assignment performance. How did you do in some of those assignments you have already done? Okay, so you have been writing assignments, submitting them, and then they are marked, and then they are given the marks back. But also within those given back assignments, you have got feedbacks from your tutor or markers who marked your work. And they provide areas which you are weak and areas which you are strong. And also the grade itself helps to tell you where you are good at, or in which area of the study that you are pursuing you are good at. Therefore, if you pick that area, you are more likely to pay more attention and obviously dedicate your effort, and the chances that you're going to do well is much higher than if you choose the topic in the areas where you are very weak. The chances of success is very slim. So there are other reasons, or there are other factors to take into consideration. So if you go in chapter 1 of this book, then you'll be able to identify other factors that you need to take into consideration, or factors that are going to help you in terms of choosing your topic for dissertation or for project. In some universities or colleges of nursing, they may actually provide you the topics, but this is very rare, because in that way, the topics are imposed on you. So you have got a problem there, because it may be a topic which you are not good at, or the topic which you are not interested in. So you are always given opportunity to choose the topic that you need. So this is what covers chapter 1. And then obviously you have got samples of previous students' dissertations and projects, titles or areas of research, and then you will see the feedback has been provided on what to improve and what obviously was good, and which areas need to improve. Therefore, you learn from their mistakes, your previous students' mistakes, and then use that knowledge to choose the right topic for your dissertation or for your project. Right. Okay. Then we have chapter 2. Now, chapter 2 is to do with abstract. So once the topic has been chosen, then you need to write a proposal for either nursing research or nursing project, depending what the university would like you to do. Some, they prefer to call it a project. Others would prefer you to pursue a dissertation. Now, in some universities or nursing schools or nursing colleges, particularly the project topics may be provided. But as I've said already, this is very rare. So you need to decide, you need to come up with your own topics. And then you are guided how to choose the topics from chapter 1. So the research or project proposal has headings and subheadings. Okay, so sometimes they call these themes and sub-themes. And now, in most cases, these are going to be provided in your student guideline, module guidelines, or in the assessment brief that you were provided. Now, the importance of these headings as headings, that they provide the structure of your proposal. Okay, so you must follow them. It's strange that obviously students come and say, what structure should I follow? But it's clearly indicated in their either assessment brief that they were provided or student module guidelines. Yeah, so read these materials. They have been provided to you so that you can make use of them. It's one of the areas you need to understand, you need to learn, you need to know, so that to make sure that you do the right things. Otherwise, you fail right from the beginning because you have used the wrong structure or structure that is not recommended by your university. Now, each university is different, okay? So don't take for granted that once you have seen a structure, maybe on the website or on the Google, and then you think the structure is going to be that one. No, it also may change depending on whether the university has reviewed its program and then come up with a new structure. So things do change. So always you need to check before you can actually before you start writing, so that you know what structure you're going to have or what is the content of your proposal. So, as I said, one of the elements of this research proposal is going to be the abstract. Now, abstract is a brief background. So, background to your topic that you have chosen. So, the importance of this topic. Why do you want actually to do research in this particular topic? Why is this topic worth doing research in? Okay. Now, in a healthy setup or in healthy areas, the importance of the topic is different, not even slightly, but it's different when you're talking about business. Okay, in health, we are looking at something is important in health if many people are going to die. So, for example, COVID was very important because within a shorter period of time, many people, if they don't get a vaccine, they don't get the support they need, they were going to die. So it kills so many people. Okay, so therefore it is important. We need to do something. Or it actually increases admissions, number of people being admitted in the hospital. So it means that is extremely important. So we need to do something about it. That's why you saw during COVID-19 that immediately the government was trying to work out how they're going to reduce admissions into the hospital, because once the hospital is overcrowded, then it also increases the risk of spreading the infection much faster. Even the current COVID-19, which you are trying to solve, it is going to be added another disease which you probably doesn't like, overcrowding. So that's why the importance of whatever you are doing, whatever you want to research in, you need to talk in terms of statistics that are showing that obviously there's a big problem. The trend is showing that it is actually increasing. So over a period of time, we're seeing many people contracting COVID-19, and many people we are being admitted in hospital. Many people we are very sick. Many people, they are being disabled because of COVID-19. They are having problem to breathe. Even the breathing support machines they were given, also they have got side effects. So they might make things worse instead of helping. So all these, they are more what we are talking about when we're talking about the importance of a topic which is a health related or nursing related. Yeah, so obviously we need to have the background, we need to have the aim of your research, we need to have what is your proposed methodology. Remember, this is the proposal. You are proposing something you're going to do in the future, not what you have done or you're going to do now. No, you are proposing what you're going to do. Okay, so we need the methodology you think you're going to follow. We need to think of the methods that you're going to follow. So we're talking about the methods of picking the sample if you're doing a primary research, methods of analyzing the data, but also methods of collecting the data. So all these are supposed to be actually shown and justified. Now, you can also add, what do you expect to get out of this? Okay, so expected results. And also, what do you suggest are going to be your conclusions and also your recommendations? These are not going to be correct at the moment, but they are proposed to help you, guide you to assess what you are looking for. Okay, so that's extremely important. Yeah, so that once you know what you're looking for, then once you start conducting your research, you'll be checking whether you're achieving what you wanted to achieve. Okay, so it's important to propose so you have got an idea of what your research will produce. Okay. Right. Okay. So in a sense here, this chapter 2 is trying to help you to write an abstract, which is the first section of your proposal, although it is written last, but always when we are reading, we come across it before we go to the main proposal. Okay, so don't struggle to write the abstract first before you write the whole proposal. No, you write the abstract last because it has got the summary of everything that you are proposing or going to do, or summary of the whole of your project or research. including the methods and the methodologies that you're going to use. Okay. Right. Again, you have got a number of samples from previous students, and you can read the mistakes they have made. And then there is a feedback which are provided to correct them. And then through that, you gain the knowledge of how to write the abstract of the proposal and which mistakes to avoid. Yeah, so that will improve the quality of your abstract of your proposal. Okay. Chapter 3, yeah, then obviously, whether it's a proposed research or it is a proposed project, is going to have the aims that we have already talked about. It's also going to have objectives, and it's going to have the questions. And in addition, they may ask you, why do you think your proposed research or proposed project is novel? Okay, so what new things do you think your research will bring? Okay, what is it that is not currently in place that you want actually to come in place, or will actually make a difference to whatever situation you're looking at? So therefore, in chapter 3 of this book is about how to write research aims, research objectives, and the research questions of your project or your research proposal. Now, in this chapter, you will also learn how to write your research or project rationale. Rationale is always difficult for most of the people to write because I think they do not understand. Now, rationale, what you would think of is, why are you so passionate about this specific area of research? Because there are so many other areas you would have done research. But what motivates you? What influences you? What encourages you? What motivates you to actually conduct research in this particular area? What is your passion about it? Yeah, what difference do you think you want to contribute to the current situation, the way things are now? Yeah, so if many people are dying now of COVID-19, you may do a research in order to try to help to reduce these deaths. But before you do that, you need to find the causes of these deaths. It's not just the COVID-19. Might mean complications of those COVID-19 once they are sick. And when they are sick, they are actually given vaccines. Some of them they are put on the machines, breathing machines. Maybe these machines and these vaccines might actually cause more harm than good. So you're going to have quite a number of thinking, quite a number of critical thoughts, critical analysis, in order for you to try to understand what you want to do and why you want to do it. So to propose the rationale is more of your proposal, or propose the area of the research is more to think of your passion and what difference do you want to make in the current situation. Again, yeah, in this chapter, you have many examples of these research aims, research objectives, or questions, and rationale from these previous students. It's interesting, someone tells me these are my research questions, but there are no question marks at the end of it. A simple thing like this, you would not believe that people can put it that way. There's a difference between aim and objective. What are the differences? So make sure that you understand once you go through what other students have written and what feedbacks they were given, which indicates the mistakes they were made, and then how those mistakes were corrected, and then use this knowledge to help yourself to write a better or higher quality research aims, objectives, questions, and explaining the novelty of your own research, what is new that you think your research findings will uncover and will be able to influence the current way we are actually either managing the patients or nursing patients or whatever topic you have chosen. Okay. Then we have chapter 4. Now, chapter 4 is to do with how are you going to conduct this research. So we need methodologies and methods. Okay, what are the methods you're going to use? What are the methodologies you're going to use? And why have you chosen those methodologies? Why have you chosen those methods? You need to justify that. This is the most important chapter because obviously many students find it difficult, let alone adult nursing students who left the school some time back. Now, as said, there are many methodologies and methods you can use to conduct your proposed research or proposed project. So if that is the case, if there are many of them, then we need to justify why out of many of them you have chosen this one, okay? It is easier to justify why you have chosen the one you have chosen rather than explaining why you left the ones you have left out. Because those you have left out, there are many compared to the one you have actually picked. So in most cases, we would prefer to justify the choice of the methods you are using or you are proposing to use, rather than justifying why you haven't chosen those you have left out. Okay, but it would have served exactly the same because they serve the same purpose, but it's easier for you to justify the choice of your methodologies and methods of your proposed research or proposed project. Okay, so as you can see there, since there are many different methodologies and methods to use in research or project, students need to explain why they have selected the methodologies and methods they will use in their proposed research or project. And this is called justification for your choice. Now, in most cases, the justification might mean providing a reference where it has given you the reasons why they use that specific methods in a specific area of your research. So if we obviously explain, maybe Jack and John, okay, reported they said this is the best methodology that can be used in this type of research, and then you put the reference in the format that is recommended by your university. Now, the reasons you give should come from research methods book, not from your head or research articles you have read. Now, so don't expect your supervisors to give you the reasons because you can't reference to your supervisor. No, it needs to be published work. Okay, so published work, they are peer reviewed. They are not just published for the sake of publishing them. So that's why you need to read these materials. You need to read either articles or the book. Okay, and you justify by putting in-text citation in the recommended format of which each university or college has its choice. Now, there's going to be different in terms of what we mean by methodologies and what we mean by methods. In methods, we're talking about sampling methods, which means you try to see how you're going to recruit the sample to your research if you're doing primary research. If you're doing secondary research, then we're interested in how you're going to get articles that you will be actually reviewing or conducting secondary data analysis on them. So that's the first. The second is going to be methods of collecting data and then methods of analyzing data. Okay, so this chapter obviously has also samples of previously proposed research methodologies and methods from previous students' work, and then you see the feedback that have been provided, helping you how to improve your own work. Okay. Chapter 5 is secondary research methodologies and methods. Why is this separate? It's because this is the main recommendation or the main choice of research. So there are two types of research. So there's a primary research, which you're conducting it for the first time, and everything that you're doing, they are relevant to this research, and you're doing this for the first time. While secondary research, you are more likely using the data that was compiled by other people who conducted their own research. So they are not specific to your research, or the previous one, they are specific to your research. So why have we looked at the secondary research methodologies and methods? The reason is because the majority of universities and nursing colleges, they do recommend desk research, which is the same as secondary research. Why? Because it is quicker, so therefore you can do it and finish within the time that the university allows you to study at their university, because you're not going to be there forever. No, they have to get rid of you and get new students. Okay, so therefore, most of the universities will recommend that you do secondary research. The second reason is that doing secondary research is safer. You do not need so much ethical approval, despite the fact it is going to be still going to be gone through ethical approval process, but it's not as rigorous as if you are doing primary research, because most of the things you are doing, they are already in the public domain. So the risk is reduced. So, and also thirdly, is that the students, although they are being asked to do secondary research, they struggle a lot trying to understand what they need to do and how they need to do it. This is the problem. So therefore, in chapter 5, I've tried hard to explain as much as I can and also show you some of the tables, some of the tables you need to use, how to use it, different research words, how to combine them, and how do you present the results in your work. So this is really important, okay? So as I've said, many universities and nursing schools or colleges do encourage their students to conduct secondary research. And secondary research is also known as desk research. So these words mean the same thing. So desk research, secondary research, they mean the same. So what you need to do in your proposal, you need to identify which one or choose which one you want to use and then be consistent throughout. If you want to use desk research, then go through, throughout your proposal, use desk research. Don't put in one section desk research, and another section is secondary research. No, be consistent to what you write. Okay. If you want them to be interchangeable, then explain right from the beginning that these words are interchangeable. So when people read about desk research, they know you are also talking about secondary research. Okay, so therefore, this chapter focuses on what the methodologies and methods that students use in their proposed desk, which is secondary research, and how to justify their choices. So you need to justify your choices of whatever you're choosing. Now, this requires you to have search strategies because it's a secondary research. So with a desk research, we need to know how you are going to go about getting the materials that you need in your research or you need to use in your research. Okay, so therefore you need to search for these materials, and usually these are going to be published articles. So they are published articles, and in some cases you may have written reports, which are written documents. You may have written policies, depending on what type of research you are pursuing, not type of research, what topic area you actually want to conduct your research. But all these, they are secondary. They are not primary things. They are secondary. Yeah, so we need to find a way of how you're going to get these things. So to get these things, you need ways of searching. So that's why you need a search strategy. Now, this search strategy is going to be a list of things that you need to follow, a number of activities under this. So the first, you need to identify the databases. So databases, they are like libraries where you're going to get these materials. So here is where they keep electronic documents, electronic articles. So you need to identify these databases, and then you need to justify why you are using these databases. Yeah, so that's very important. So most cases, there might be things, for example, they do publish peer-reviewed articles. So which means they conducted the research and then they produce the findings, and those findings are compiled into the draft articles, and those articles are sent to other specialists to review them before they are published. Another reason might be is the database, which obviously they keep materials that are relevant to your area of study. So, for example, if your proposed research is in nursing, then they publish articles related to nursing, okay? If it's human resource management, they publish articles that are related to human resource management and so forth. Then in order for you to get the materials, because this database is like, as I said, like a library where there are so many things in there. There are so many articles in there. So we need to find a way of identifying these articles. In a library, we used to have a catalog. So the first thing you go into the library is to search this catalog, which will give you the code, and that code directs you to which shelf you need to go to search for your book, specific book or specific magazine you need to have. So they have the same idea, except that these are electronic. So therefore, we need to have search words. So you need to create your own search words, and these search words, they need to be relevant. And you will use these to search the articles you're looking for, or search any materials that you're looking for, which will be relevant to your research. Again, you need to justify the use of these search words. Now, after you have searched, you're going to have quite a number of articles. So you need to reduce them to smaller size. So therefore, you need to create inclusion and exclusion criteria. And then you may summarize this using the Prisma, depending what actually is recommended or what you feel confident you can use. So you can use the Prisma to try to summarize what you have got. You can create a table. In this chapter, I have created tables, and these tables, they are not mine. They are tables that students used, those who are doing a dissertation or project. Yeah, so you can learn what tables they use and then create your own. Now, the choice of using these need to be justified through use of in-text citation in the correct format, I've already said. So you need each of these stages or each of these sections. They need to be justified, okay? So you justify by providing the sources where you access the information and then learn from them. This chapter, obviously, as I said, troubles many students because it deals with application of theory, not writing it. So if you write the theory in this section, then you are more likely to fail, okay? So it's not asking you to write the theory, no. It's asking you to apply theory to your own work. And this is why many students struggle with this section. Right, okay, so because I know that problem, I've provided in this book, this chapter of this book, quite more, including the summary tables that obviously an online adult nursing students need to use, okay? So, and I've seen that the students who used this book, especially when they're struggling with this section, they have improved their work massively. Okay, so I'm glad for that. Then chapter 6, the chapter 6 is obviously proposed research or project management plan. Okay, what you need to understand is that nursing research or project is made up of series of activities. It's not just one single activity. There are going to be a series of activities which you need to run. They must be in correct sequences. Okay, so you can see already we are saying you start with the proposal, but even before the proposal, within the proposal, you have got a number of different things you need to do. So identifying a topic, for example, and after you identify the topic, then you prepare the proposal, and then you submit that proposal. That proposal might be rejected. You might need to correct it again, or it might be completely outright rejected, which means you need to start all over again. And then once it has been accepted, so which means it has been approved by ethical committee of your university, the next you need to do is now conduct your research. Okay, so this conducting that research is following activities that you propose in the proposal. That's why getting the proposal wrong it's going to be difficult for you to conduct your research, let alone to write the final report, which is your dissertation report. And I've seen students who are writing a dissertation reports, which they have not conducted research at all. Therefore, it's going to be very difficult because we match what you said you're going to do in the proposal and what you have done. And we can quickly see, or we can tell that what you are writing here, you have not done anything at all. So therefore, you fail outright, which is not a good thing. Failing a project or dissertation is much more painful because you spend so much time on it. Yeah, so it's important that you get it right at the beginning. Right, okay, so because there are this series of activities, they need to be running in the correct sequences. So what comes first, what comes second, what comes third. Now, this can only be done properly if you are guided by your project plan or project management plan or dissertation management plan, which is you included in the proposal. So what do we know? That some activities, to be done, they need to be done first before carrying out the next ones. And the others may need to happen at the same time. So if they are happening at the same time, they also need to be completed at the same time. If they are not happening at the same time, it means the first activity need to be completed first before you go to the next one. Right. So also what we need to know that research also need allocation of time and other resources for successful implementation of it. Therefore, to make sure that the research will be conducted and be completed on time, there's a need for students to have a research management plan. This plan is developed and summarized by using a Gantt chart. So you demonstrate that you understand how to develop these plans by using your Gantt chart. Now, you see some of these plans in this particular chapter 6, which are real plans that were developed by students. And then if they made a mistake, these mistakes are corrected, and that provide you lessons to learn. And the knowledge from here should actually help you to develop your own proposed research project management plan, which obviously will be of higher quality and be able to get it right for the first time, which means to succeed or to be approved by ethics committee. Then chapter 7. This is to do with a data acquisition and management plan. Okay, so we know definitely we are going to be collecting data. Most of your data, because you are more encouraged to do secondary research or desk research, they are going to be articles or published documents, or it might be policies, might be procedures within the hospital or ward setting, depending on what you are looking for. And so, as I said, it is inevitable that during your research or project, you will acquire and generate data that are specific to your project. And then this chapter will provide you with the opportunity to think it through, to carefully identify such data, and then you describe, so what is sort of data will you be looking for, or will you be acquiring, or will you be generating as you go through with your proposed research or proposed project. Now, as a researcher, you need to understand that some of this data generated or acquired will be risky to both your own reputation as a researcher and to the participants to your research. So therefore, you need to provide the management plan. How are you going to manage this data you're acquiring or generating to make sure that they are going to not to cause harm to yourself as a researcher, or harm to the participants who participated in your research if you are doing primary research, or might be the organizations that participated in your research. Even if it's a secondary research, still you may have data which you do not want to go into wrong hands. Okay, so therefore you need to develop a plan for managing such sensitive data to reduce the risk of getting into wrong hands. However, use of secondary research reduces such risks, And this is the one of the reasons why it is favored by universities and colleges. Okay, so the risk is far much lower. Chapter 8, again, this is a chapter or section which gives a headache to students because they don't understand the outputs from their research or outputs from their proposed research, and how they're going to be actually disseminating, including the output of their own dissertation. Dissertation is the output of your research, because at the end of it, your findings will be compiled into a report which is known as a dissertation. And how do you disseminate it? First, you submit it for your supervisor to mark, and then once it is marked, then you are awarded the grade. So for the fact that you have disseminated to this supervisor, so you can see it is helping your research findings to be known to this supervisor. Another way of disseminating it is actually compiling into a book, and then you actually leave it in the library, your university library, so that the future students and the general public can read it. So disseminate it that way. The other way is obviously you may get the results and prepare into PowerPoint presentation. So you go to conferences and then you present it there. Or you can publish your findings into article, which is published in a local paper. Yeah, so there are quite a number of different ways you can actually do. So the products of research or projects are called outputs. These can be the data itself that obviously you are generating and acquiring, the findings from your research, dissertation reports, which is much more commonly one, then published articles, okay, and PowerPoint presentation slides, and published newspaper articles, leaflets, journal articles, and many more. It is important at this proposal stage to determine the outputs from your proposed research and identify methodologies that the other online student will use to disseminate them. Okay. And in this chapter, you're going to find, obviously, how research and project outputs can be identified and what are the different strategies that can be used to disseminate these outputs. Again, you're going to see examples from previous students. Chapter 9, writing reference list. Okay, so we had the justification for all the things we are doing in the proposal. Okay, and then now those justification which were inside in text citation, okay, they need also to show in the reference list. So in the reference list, they are actually put in a longer version and they are more complete. While in the documents itself, they are in shorter format. Okay. So the last chapter of this book deals with how to account for all the references you have used to write your research or project proposal. Now, some students, they make a mistake that they copy reference lists from somewhere else and then they paste it into their reference list. No, if you do that, the whole proposal is going to fail, because we check the reference you have used in the document, and then compare with the references you have used in the reference list. These, they need to match. So if there are 20 different references you have used in the document, there must also be 20 in the reference list. And the way you weight them must be exactly the same. So do not start with a different name in the text compared to the one you have put in the reference list. No, they need to actually start with the same name. So it's easier for us to check. Okay. Now, it is important that the only references you have used to support your claims and arguments in your proposal are shown in the reference list in the recommended format. Each university may recommend its own format, and check and use the format recommended by your university. Do not just make assumption. No, these, they will be clear either in your assessment brief, or in your module guidelines, or in your student handbook, wherever they place it. It's important that you follow what the university have told you to actually that this is the methods they want you to use. Now, in this book, the recommended format is Harvard as aligned with the reference format recommended by Aden University and a majority of other universities whose students I have worked with. Note that the in-text citation is written in different format compared to the format you use in a reference list. So extremely important. Yeah, in the actual dissertation, you have 5 marks only for getting these references correct. So you start at least 5 marks better off if you get everything correct. And must be obviously written correctly, correct format. Okay, that's very important. Right, okay, so this is not the only book I've written. I've written other books, okay, so there are 3 of them. So the other one is using previous students' feedbacks to enhance distance and online adult learning students' success in writing and nesting assignments. It's quite a big book. It also follows the same pattern, looking at different assignments that I went through with the students I was supporting, and then obviously show you how they were being corrected so that you don't make the same mistakes. So explaining what that assignment was trying to ask you to do, and also importance of following the assignment brief. The second one, using previous students' feedbacks to enhance distance and online adult learning students' success in writing Master of Science and MBA dissertation proposal, and also applying for ethics approval. So this is similar to the one for proposal for nursing project or dissertation, but this is for master's level, and it's to do with business. Again, there are these links where you can find these books. Now, if you have any questions or you want to contact me, obviously I have got my email address here, which is pdexamsolutionprovider@gmail.com. You can call me. This is my office number, 01296 312931. You can also go on my website, which is this. The link is here. And for all those books, you can find them on Amazon, whose link is below here. I hope this will help you. Important to buy the book, okay? Whichever book you, there are 2 formats. So you can buy a hard copy like this one, or you can buy and read it on Kindle, which means you don't need a hard copy like this one. Okay. The advantage of buying on Kindle is that you can read. Once you finish reading, you can sell it back to Amazon. Okay. Although even the hard copy, you can sell it back to Amazon, but it's easier with the Kindle. Also, Kindle is a little bit cheaper because you can only read the or you can buy the page which you think is more relevant, you want to read. So you can just purchase that page, and once you have read and finished, then that's the end of your of what you wanted. But if you want reader to have a hard copy and keep it in case you want to refer to it, yeah. So therefore, it's this one. Yeah, it will be sent to you. I'm based in the United Kingdom, so that's where I live and that's where I work. I work as online tutor for Teesside University. Supporting students online for Masters in Public Health, Doctorate in Public Health, and Doctorate in Public Health Professional Practice. I've scaled down my own work because at the end I've taken full-time work with Teesside University. But still, I do support students once in a blue moon if it's a simple, just looking at their assignments and they need help to structure it or to help to explain what to help them understand what the assignment is about. So you can send it online and then you just need to purchase the time. All these, they are explained on the website. If you get lost, just give me a call or send me an email. I will be happy to respond. Thanks a lot, and I hope this will help you particularly you adult nursing students. You can see my passion is because also myself, I learned as an adult. I went up to do my PhD where I was already married, grown up. So, and you can always achieve. If I did it, why can't you succeed doing it? Thanks very much and all the best. Bye for now. Bye.